today I am in like a calm Zen mood. I have like spotting. I'm on my period or something. Like I'm on the pill and I hate it. Like I just get like really bad cramps now, and I never had that before, and I really hate it. But I'm not ready to have kids at the current moment, so we're dealing with it. And I have like moved so many of my meetings today to next week. My dad's coming to visit on Wednesday, so I'm super excited about that. So there are some things to be excited about, but today we're actually going to talk about how being bored is a superpower. I made this video on TikTok and I posted it as a YouTube short as well. It did very, very well compared to my other videos. So I thought I would elaborate on how I learned to be bored and to use it as a superpower. And when I say be bored, I mean bored of anything that wasn't good for me. A really good example is I don't drink. So let's say like I'm out with friends and they're like, you're so boring, why aren't you drinking? Or you're so boring, like, why don't you go out? I chose to be bored of that sort of stuff. Like anything that isn't good for me, if my friends aren't okay with me not drinking, we're probably not really friends because we don't have anything deeper to go off of. Or maybe we're friends, but I don't really like that behavior, so let's just ignore that, get bored of it, and it'll stop. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. If you look at Dr. Ramani Durvasula, something like that, she's like a UC California. She's a professor, and she talks a lot about narcissism. She's really famous here on YouTube. But if you look into what she talks about, how to get narcissists to stop responding or picking on you is something called gray rocking, which is basically ignoring them when they try to antagonize you or love bomb you, anything like that. So when someone's doing something that I don't like, that I don't think is good for me, I gray rock them. And this isn't to say that everyone's a narcissist, because I don't think that's true at all. I do think we all have like some narcissistic tendencies. I think that's really normal as people. Like even me, I have narcissistic tendencies. I can't even talk. I have a lot of narcissistic tendencies, and so does everyone else. And we all just have to learn to coexist and learn what our boundaries are. But I think within that, something that is going to allow you to treat other people better and to be more emotionally regulated, more emotionally in control and not a crash out, is being bored by things, protecting yourself, having boundaries, and ignoring things that aren't in line with who you want to be. Now, how do you do that? Well, the first step is that you have to change your belief system around this sort of stuff. So if someone, for example, is saying that you are boring for not drinking, for example, that example that I used, or for not eating a certain thing, your belief, instead of thinking like, oh, I don't fit in, which might be a belief of yours, or oh, my friends aren't going to like me, your belief is, I'm fine the way that I am, and these just might not be my friends right now. Like, that's a very hard shift to make, because especially you love these people. Like, this doesn't mean like cut people off if they're saying certain stuff to you. I'm just saying get bored of the behavior itself and act bored about it. It doesn't mean that you're not their friend, but in that moment, like, I want you to be bored of your friends, bored of your boyfriend, bored of your husband, bored of your parents. I don't care who it is. If they're doing something that is not good for you because of how they feel about themselves, like, it is totally fine to be bored of it. And I want you to shift your belief from thinking that is something like a reflection on you to, this is a reflection of them. It doesn't have any bearing on me, and I believe that I'm doing the right things for my body, and this is going to bring me the most happiness long term. And that's a huge belief system shift that you have to make, but you have to make it in order to stick with these things, because if you believe that you not doing these things is going to make you have no friends and that you're going to be alone forever, you might go through a period of that, right? If there's a huge transition or change in your life or a glow up, but that's not going to last forever, and you're going to attract people who are like you the more consistent you are with those things. And so I just want you to have that belief in yourself and the things that are good for you, and know that the right people are going to come into your life, and that you doing these things and people saying things to you about them, that's not a reflection on you. That doesn't have anything to do with your worth. Now, the second thing that I need you to do here after you've changed your belief is I need you to change your identity around who you are, because this is also going to help you stick to your goals, the things that you want to be. And I don't say like identity in terms of I'm going to do this thing. By shifting identity, you want to be thinking, I already am this person. And this is from like Tony Robbins, all that NLP sort of stuff. If you haven't been into that, you've probably heard of Tony Robbins still, where you want to visualize yourself as already achieving the thing or already being that sort of person and do what that person would do. So for example, if you're trying to eat healthier, like, you want to be like, I am a healthy eater, not I'm trying to eat healthier, or I haven't had an unhealthy meal in XYZ days. Like if you mess up on maybe your diet plan, you want to think of that as, oh, I messed up on my diet plan, not, oh, this is who I am and this is just what I lean towards. Now, changing your identity is just gonna have you see that as, ugh, I don't want to do it again. That was a mistake. Like I don't even want that in the first place. Like for example, this weekend I was out with my husband and our two nephews, and I got McDonald's chicken nuggets, which I haven't had in years. And I was just like, I was so hungry and I ate it. But I realized like in that moment, I had kind of let some part of me shift. And I don't exactly know why. Maybe I was really hungry. But that was a point of reflection for me, is like, I don't eat that stuff. Like that's to say you're not going to be perfect with it. But I am a very healthy eater. And I do not want to have McDonald's again. I felt fine after eating it, if I'm perfectly honest. I got like a little kid's meal. I got like the kid's size of everything. I ate as little of it as possible. But I was like, not again. That didn't feel like me, and I'm not going to do it again. Now, the third thing I want you to do after you've established your new beliefs and your new identity is I want you to diversify your interests. And this is so that if you do have those people in your life who are criticizing the things that you're doing, you have other things to turn to, other things to divert your attention to, so that way you can be bored of people. For example, if these friends that you have, they're all you have to fill up your free time, to fill up your oxytocin, your serotonin, those social bonding hormones, or maybe it's your husband, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your boyfriend, maybe it's your girlfriend, partner, I don't know. But if this is all you have in order to get social interaction or any sort of self-fulfillment, you got to diversify. Like that is so essential for you having an alternative to going to these people in these moments. And now the ways that you can do that is you can go to different events, different networking groups, go to church. There are so many different places where you can meet people. And if you're someone who's socially isolated and you only had this one friend group for your entire life, you got to change that. And that starts with changing another probably identity and belief, if this is you, to being like, I am someone who can meet new people. I am someone who's personable. These aren't the only people that are going to like me. So you can see how changing the belief and then changing the identity is going to lead to changing the behavior and making it easier for you to get bored by other people and start to visualize the things that are good for you and start chasing that. And so that's another piece of it as well. I talk about this in some of my videos, but visualizing the life that you want and getting crystal clear on that, because we as women, especially, like if you're a guy watching this, you're also able to visualize, but I think women in particular have a very strong sense of this is for me and this is not for me. You have like a sixth sense, you have a gut, and just getting really clear on that vision is going to allow you to filter out the things that aren't that. It's not even so much as a chasing, because that's not exactly feminine attraction, right? Like that's not as much of a feminine energy, even though like definitely in business and different stuff, you can chase your goals and you can have your inputs and your actions, you can manifest things for yourself. But for the most part, like curating your certain life, it's saying no to things that aren't that and putting yourself in the places where those things might occur. So visualize, be at those places, say no to things that aren't that. Change your beliefs to make sure that, when these things happen to you, when someone pushes you away, you know that it's not about you, you know that something else is coming, and just truly have belief in that. A really good quote that I saw was like, we oftentimes have this fear that we're never going to find love again, we're never going to find friends, but I would like you to flip that on its head to just say like, you will always find love again, you will always find friends again, because it's just as radical of a statement, but whatever you look for is probably what's going to happen to you. Next, I want you to change your identity so that way you're not as tempted by these old behaviors, by things that aren't good for you, and just embody the person that you are, the person that doesn't do these things, so that way it's easier for you to get bored by them. And like I said, visualize, say no to things that aren't for you, and just keep pushing on this path. Like I know it's so hard, and I still struggle with it too, but the more that you're able to be bored and say no to things that aren't for you, just kind of them, like totally get the ick, get kind of like, nah, like not for me, the better your life is going to be, the more you're going to attract, and the stronger you're going to be, the more confidence you're going to have in yourself, the more time you're going to have to do the things that you want to do, the things that you want to pursue, the things that God put you on this planet for, which for me is the development of relationships, family, and community. So I love helping other people, and I don't think that I would be my best self to do that if I didn't really learn how to begin to lay down these boundaries and work through these things with other people. Like, even not being perfect with it, having these things in mind has made me so much stronger, so much more confident as a person. So don't think that you have to be perfect with it. Just take the first step and yeah, follow my videos, of course, if you want to get stronger in these tips. Thank you. Bye.